Open your electric bill. Look at the total. It's up 20%, 30%. The news tells you it's because of inflation or heat waves. That is a lie. Your bill isn't going up because you are using more power. It is going up because you are paying for someone else's power. We are witnessing the greatest infrastructure build-out in American history, the AI data center boom. It costs trillions, and the tech giants Amazon, Google, Microsoft don't want to pay for the power lines. So, they made a deal with the utility companies. Build us the grid we need and charge the cost to the grandmothers in the suburbs. You are subsidizing the wealthiest companies on earth. This is the grid war, and you are losing. How is this legal? Utilities are regulated monopolies. They are allowed to charge customers for the cost of maintaining the grid, plus a guaranteed profit, usually 10%. Here is the scam. When Amazon builds a massive data center in Virginia, it requires new transmission lines, new substations, and new power plants. This costs billions. Instead of sending the bill to Amazon, the utility company classifies it as grid modernization. They go to the regulators and say, "We need to raise rates on everyone to pay for these upgrades." So Amazon gets the infrastructure they need to run their $100 billion AI business, and you get a $50 hike on your monthly bill to pay for it. This is socialized cost, privatized profit at its finest. In Northern Virginia, Data Center Alley, residential rates are skyrocketing, even though residential usage is flat. You are paying for the road so Amazon can drive their truck on it for free. But it gets worse. They aren't just stealing your money, they are stealing your electrons. The U.S. grid has a limited amount of baseload power nuclear coal that runs 24/7. This is the cheap, reliable stuff. In 2024, Amazon made a deal with Talon Energy to buy the Susquehanna nuclear plant in Pennsylvania. But they didn't just buy the power. They took the plant behind the meter. This means they disconnected the nuclear plant from the public grid and plugged it directly into their data center. Suddenly, 960 megawatts of clean, reliable power vanished from the public market. The public grid now has a hole. How do they fill it? They have to fire up expensive, dirty gas peaker plants. This drives up the wholesale price of electricity for everyone else. Amazon took the steak and left you with the scraps, and your bill went up to pay for the scraps. The grid is a zero-sum game. Supply must equal demand every second, or the system collapses. AI demand is growing so fast, episode 35, it is consuming all the spare capacity. This leads to capacity cannibalism. In PJM, the grid for 13 states, capacity prices spiked 800% in one auction. Why? Because there isn't enough power to guarantee reliability. When a heat wave hits in 2026 and everyone turns on their AC, there won't be enough juice. Who gets cut off? The data centers have contracts with 5 nines reliability, 99.999%. They pay a premium to never go dark. You do not. You face rolling brownouts. The grid operator will cut power to residential neighborhoods to preserve the integrity of the system, which means keeping the servers running. Your AC turns off so ChatGPT can keep writing poems. How will they control your usage? Through the smart meter. They sold it to you as a way to save energy. It is actually a rationing device. Utilities are rolling out demand response programs. During peak hours, they can remotely adjust your thermostat. They can throttle your EV charger. If you opt out, they charge you surge pricing, $10 per kilowatt hour instead of $1.50. It becomes a luxury tax on comfort. The wealthy and the data centers will pay the surge price. The middle class will sit in the dark and sweat. This is the tiered internet applied to electricity. Fast lanes for the rich, throttled lanes for the poor. So, if the system is rigged, how do we profit? We invest in the riggers. Utility companies used to be boring widow and orphan stocks, low growth, steady dividends. Not anymore. They are now AI growth stocks. Companies like Southern Company SO, Dominion Energy D, and NextEra Energy NEE effectively have a license to print money. They have a guaranteed customer, big tech with infinite pockets. They have a regulator who lets them pass all costs to the consumer. They have guaranteed return on equity, ROE. The more they spend on infrastructure, the more profit they are legally allowed to make. The smart money is rotating out of tech stocks, which are overvalued, and into utility stocks, which own the physical bottleneck. There is a second layer to this trade, the companies that build the grid. You can't just plug a data center into a wall socket. You need transformers, switchgear, and high-voltage cables. As we discussed in episode 01, there is a shortage of this hardware. Companies like Eaton, ETN, Quanta Services, PUR, and Hubble Hub are the only ones who can upgrade the grid. Their order books are full until 2030. They have pricing power. Big tech cannot negotiate with them because there is no alternative. This is the industrial supercycle. While software companies fight a price war to zero, episode 034, hardware companies are raising prices. Let's summarize the investigation. The AI boom is real, but the cost is being hidden in your monthly bills. The Smart Money Playbook. 1. Long the utilities. Buy the monopolies in data center hubs, Dominion, Southern, Exelon. They are the toll collectors. 2. Long the grid. Buy the companies making the hardware, Eaton, Vertiv. 3. Invest in resilience. If the grid is going to be unreliable, buy your own power. A generator, Generac, or solar plus battery, Tesla Powerwall, is not just a luxury, it is insurance against the demand response rationing. 4. Audit your bill. Watch for new riders and surcharges. Understand that inflation is now structural in energy. They are upgrading the world, but they are using your credit card. Make sure you own the shares to pay the bill. This is the smart money wisdoms. The future belongs to the owners.